Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Mikey Mike and his JJ production. So, as you saw in the title of the YouTube video, we wanted to create a video to show people how to repair the LionChief engine. Yeah, I tried to find a video on YouTube. I couldn't find one. So whenever there's a situation where I am looking for a solution on YouTube and I can't find it, and I somehow come into the solution on my own, I want to put out the video so that other people have a path or something they can refer to potentially fix something or whatever the solution is, whether it's banking curves or repairing engines or something with this hobby that could potentially save us money. I definitely want to share that solution with everyone. So that's what this video is. So let's check it out. All right, so I don't think I shared this yet, but so over a year ago, back in I think last October, I decided I wanted a Christmas theme engine, and I decided to go ahead and invest in a LionChief 2.0 because at the time that I purchased the engine, I think I was running 036 curves. So obviously I couldn't get the scale engine, not even realizing that it wasn't even available unless you want to pay, $4,000 or $5,000 for it on eBay. So I bought the engine, and right after I paid for it, of course, I watched another video that somebody else did in the hobby and saw that they ran their layout around the outer edges of their room, which allowed them to run bigger curves. So I upgraded to 048 curves, and then I realized that I got the SCARM software and realized that I could actually do 060. So spent a lot of money upgrading twice, hundreds of dollars to do 048, only to spend hundreds of dollars to get 060. So I went out and bought some Polar Express heavyweight passenger cars, and didn't look like being pulled by my little LionChief 2.0 Berkshire steam engine. But the scale version wasn't available, so I had to use what I had. And of course, 2 weeks after the warranty went out, I started hearing this grinding noise in the engine, and I lubricated everything I could lubricate on the thing, and it seemed to work at first, but then the noise came back even louder. And at one point it just stopped pulling. And so called Legacy Station. They gave me a couple of names. And the price quote to fix it came out to about, I think I got one price quote for like 140. And then another person quoted me 120, but I would have had to pay probably about $40 just to ship it to them. So so I didn't really want to put a whole bunch of money in this engine, because my understanding is that the Polar Express is about to celebrate the 20-year anniversary. So more than likely Lionel is about to, I'm getting some intel here, that Lionel is going to make the scale Berkshire available next year for the 20-year anniversary. May even do some other stuff. Maybe they might even make a Polar Express diesel, which would be awesome, because I would much rather run diesel than steam engines any day. So obviously I'm saving up some money for that, just in case that intel turns out to be correct. But I got a $600 something LionChief 2.0 steam engine that is basically worthless other than spare parts. So I called one of the people that Legacy Station recommended, and turns out the guy was actually nice enough to walk me through on how to repair this engine. It seems to be a very common problem with these engines, the LionChief Plus, and the LionChief 2.0 steam engines. The way the gears work, they chew out a lot. And so, and I know I probably chewed mine out even earlier, pulling these heavyweight passenger cars, because the engine wasn't designed to pull those heavyweight passenger cars. It was designed to pull the toy-like cars. And so had I been pulling those cars, I call them toys because they look like toys, I probably wouldn't have had this problem. So, so hopefully this will give me an opportunity to repair this engine and basically make it a refurbished engine. So, to get it back working again. So, let's follow the steps that I was given and see if we can make it work. So I'm going to try to show as much as I can while I'm repairing it. So the first thing I got to do here is use my gloves so I don't cut my hands on this sharp edge fast track, and make some space here. I'm going to leave this switch here. I think I can work around it. And let's bring out the sick Berkshire here. Now, unfortunately, I did not film myself taking this thing apart. And let's see if we can move this a little bit closer here. And let's see if we can aim that down a little bit more. A little bit more. You know what? I may have to take this out so you can see it. So the way this engine works is interesting. So this thing has grease all over it. So so this is the motor that drives it, little bitty cam motor, and it has I guess what you would call a worm shaft, and that shaft spins and drives the gear on this axle here. So if you look real closely there, you can see that. I don't know, you may not be able to see it, but it is worn. It's literally a groove down in the middle there. And if you look at the axle here, you can see it. I'll put that there. You can see where the gears are just stripped. I guess from me pulling these heavyweight passenger cars. So this is what we actually need to completely replace. So called Lionel and got the replacement parts. So let's pull that out and get to work. Alrighty. I was actually surprised at how quick this came. Matter of fact, I have an engine right now that's still under warranty that Lionel is taking 6 weeks to repair. And so when I got the email that something was coming from Lionel, I was like, oh, I thought they had, quickly fixed my engine and sent it back to me. I thought, wow, okay. But when I called, the lady was like, nope. That's not your engine. Those are the parts you ordered. And I was like, oh, okay. I thought these were coming next week. And she was like, nope. She said she was even surprised that they went ahead and just pulled the part and packaged them up for me. So, all right. Well, there it is. Yep. All right, so here is the new rear axle with the gear, and you can definitely see the difference there. One is worn out, groove in the middle, and then one is perfect. So, yeah, and then we have the heartbeat of this engine, motor. Let's see if we can careful here. Alrighty. Yeah, and you see the new worm shaft. Man, that is you definitely see the difference there. I don't know if you can see that. Camera's not the best on this phone, but it's not. Trust me, the grooves here are definitely, if you look at it from the side, definitely see the difference. Alrighty, so let's perform surgery here, and like I said, I try to show as much as I can. This is the right. This may have to come off. Okay. All right, everyone. So, just to give you a quick brief about what happened and why I had to cut away from the other video is I realized that the part that I got in the mail from Lionel was actually the wrong part. This particular engine is as I told you before, it is a LionChief 2.0. And the difference between the LionChief 2.0 and the regular LionChief is the motor has speed control. And so I believe that is what these two wire harnesses are for. I think one is for the power of the engine and the other is to control the speed. And then there's some type of, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little thing here. Let's see if I can point to it. There's a little thing right there that this flywheel spins through, and I'm thinking that this is actually measuring the speed of the motor so that when you're going downhill, it can sense that it's picking up speed and it can slow power to the motor so that the train doesn't come crashing downhill. So the other motor I got did not look like this. It did not have these two connections, and when I looked up the part number, it specifically said LionChief, not LionChief 2.0. So, coincidentally, I thought I was hearing some noise in my new DD35 engine, which is a legacy engine, which also has speed control. And so I just wanted to check the motors to make sure that, they were not grinding or making some type of funny noise. And it wasn't, thank God. But the motor looked exactly like this. It had the same little, this little plastic ring here around the flywheel. And it had like some sensor here and two harnesses. So I imagine that these probably have something to do with the legacy speed control. So the other motor they sent me did not have this. So I'm learning as I go through this exercise that I'm learning, stuff about these motors. So it's been about a week and a half since the first video because I had to send the other part back, get credit, and then wait for them to send me the new part, which just arrived today. So now we're going to pick up where we left off and see if we can go ahead and get this bad boy running again. All righty. So here's the new part. And excuse the mess you see here in the background. I am in the process of creating some elevation for my elevated track. I am using wood for all of my elevation and ramps going forward instead of using these because they just don't work with the longer engines. I think these are really built for the smaller LionChief non-scale O-gauge engines. When it comes to like the heavier engines and the long engines, these just don't work. So I'm doing like a lot of you and creating wood ramps, wood elevation, because they just provide more stability and so on and so forth. So that would be a separate video that will put out probably, hopefully not too long after this one. But yeah, here is the actual motor. And as you can see, it's already kind of lubricated. And you can see the gears are not worn out like these. You can definitely see that this one has been chewed up from grinding, and this is the new one. So let's go ahead and replace it. So the first thing we need to do is want to make sure it's good and lubricated. So a formal Lionel technician who kind of helped me figure this thing out told me to get some white lithium grease. I got this from Home Depot. So we will apply some of this, and let's see. Make sure that's good and lubed. This part is going to be kind of difficult here. I don't have a cameraman, so I'm just trying to show you this as best I can. So the engine goes literally right in here, in that little spot right there. So I'm just showing you because I won't be able to hold it like that. And I'm going to screw it down on these two holes here, and screw it down to the chassis, and then we're going to plug in these two wire harnesses here into the appropriate plugs there. So I just want to show you this up close, so I won't be able to hold it up to the camera. Screw everything back in where it was, and just remember how you took it apart. This one doesn't want to go. There we go. Screw that nice and tight. And we gotta make sure this is tight, because if not, it won't interact with the gear below. Let's just turn this over so I don't get any grease on it. Alrighty, so now here is the part that I have been concerned about, and that is getting the axle back on here. So make sure, okay, that's the bad axle. And let's find a good one. Oh, there it is. So this part here was a little concerning because it's a little tricky, and let me just get some more lube in here. Make sure it's nice and lubed up. Get some lube in this gear here. Okay, so sorry I can't show you what I'm doing here. This part you may have to kind of figure out on your own, but basically these little, I don't know what you call them, not flanges, but these little things here have to align with the chassis and drop in there, and then they're supposed to hold it in place. So I gotta get them perfectly aligned. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think that bad boy is coming out. Okay, and let's just turn it over and just make sure that we got connection here. So I'm going to turn the motor. I should see the wheel spin. Let me see if I can let's try this way. Can you see that? Okay, let's see. See the wheel spinning? That means the worm gear and connected to the motor is in contact with the wheel. I don't hear any grinding, so that is a good sign. So now we will, let's put this, I'm gonna put a little more grease in here, and then we will put this bad boy back together, and I'm gonna try to see if I can find some track connected to some kind of power, and see if we can test it out real quick. I'm not gonna be able to do too much testing, but thing. All right, everyone. So now that we got this part reattached, and let me see, make sure you can see that. Okay, yeah. So now that we got this part reattached for the pickup rollers, and we got to put the rods back in place by screwing these in. So gotta find the right size socket for these. All right, so we'll start out first by screwing them in, and then we'll go from there. There we go. Just gonna screw this in, and then we'll tighten it with the socket. Get the other side in here. You can't see it, but it's basically the same thing on the other side. I actually learned this part from watching the video, since there were no videos on how to replace the engine. Watched this part on how to replace the tires, the traction tires. All right, folks, so I think we are ready. I'm just going to just wipe down these rollers here. Make sure there's no grease on them. Help keep the tracks clean. Alright, same thing here. Alright, and now we got still tight there. We got good connection. All right, and now it's time to put this back on, and we got to reconnect the wires here again. Everything can only go in one way, so shouldn't be able to get this one. You shouldn't be able to plug it in the wrong way. And let's see. So basically, you have 3 wires here, and they go let's see, one goes here. Let me get that screwdriver. So one goes here. See that right there? Yep. And then there's another one that goes here. So you can see that. It's kind of hard to see. There's another one that goes here and here. So you'll see this one obviously when you take it off. You have to unplug these to disconnect the top. So I'll show this to you. So I had the wrong wires there. So it's the first, this first one here, and then that one that you have to plug back in. I thought it was this one over here. So, alrighty, and let's see. Let's put this back on here. Right, and let's see. So these longer ones go here. Goes there. And let's screw those in. And these screws basically hold the chassis to the boiler plate. Dang, I think that screw is stripped. Thank God we got these other screws here. All right, folks. I think that's it. All right, so we are going to get some of the grease off of it and put it on the track and see if it works. All right, everyone, so I thought we were up and running, but turns out the good old people at Lionel just, oh man, they love making it hard for you to be a customer. So Lionel sent me an engine, motor rather, with reverse polarity. The polarities were completely reversed, and as a result, forward meant backwards and backward meant forward. So I had a decision to make, send the motor back again and risk them sending me another motor that either is the wrong part or is not working correctly. Because the engine runs fine. I mean, no, there's no grinding noise, anything. It works perfectly, just in the wrong direction. But I decided to pull out my electrical engineering card, since I do have a background in electrical engineering, and I realized I just needed to switch in the wires. So if you look here, you can see that the blue wire and red wire are now connected to the harness. So there's a blue wire and a red wire coming out of the harness connected to the motor. And I just simply connected the red to the blue and the blue to the red. And I put it on the track, and now it goes in the right direction. So now that that's fixed, I'm going to tape this up to make sure there's no shorts, and it's ready to go. All right, everybody. So we have now reassembled the LionChief 2.0 engine. It has a brand new DC motor, a brand new rear gear axle. And so let's see how she runs.
This is the Polar Express. Why, to the North Pole, of course.
Alright, and just to show you that the polarity works correctly, we're gonna put this in forward here. And you can see it's moving forward. And then let's put it in reverse. And you can see it moving in reverse. All right. So let's put a little fluid in it, smoke fluid in it. And we'll take it around the layout.
All aboard!
All right, smoking good. And if you listen real carefully, there are no gear grinding sounds. It's got brand new gears. As you can see, my layout is in a total mess, but these are the only track I have powered right now. So can't take it around the whole layout because it's in disarray, but just take it around this little bit right here. And wow, man, just 100% better. Let's take it in reverse. And you can see it's in reverse. Polarity is correct. Smoking good. So hopefully you can see that smoke. Yeah, real good.
Tickets, please. I am the king of the North Pole.
All right, folks, that's it. And that's how you repair a LionChief 2.0 engine, even when they send you the motor with reverse polarity. Have a good one, guys.